We are now recording, and we're starting this first podcast. It's kind of a test podcast because we haven't done it before. I have my buddy over here.
I'm your buddy.
My hubby buddy. Okay. Oh, thank you guys. We all got our hats on except Eileen, huh? I need it on.
We could change that.
Awesome. So he's gonna get a hat over here. Okay. That's not the hat.
That's a
Okay.
good hat.
This is an old hat from Buster Keaton's days.
Nice.
You know. Anyway, I'll just throw this on just so I have a hat.
Looks good
All
on
right,
you.
so the podcast question and the subject right now are movies that have influenced us. And this is the Tiger Maid crew. This is part of the Tiger Maid crew, Tiger Maid Studios. And we are now looking at and talking about, because we're all about movies, short movies, long movies, whatever. And when we watch movies, we get influenced, or we really, maybe get really affected by the movie. So I'm going to go first and tell you one of the movies. Now, I didn't put this out great, but one of the movies that really made an impact on me, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's. What do you think this is?
Yeah. Jaws.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. When I saw this when I was young, oh my gosh, I didn't even want to look at the ocean, go near the ocean. I was terrified. I thought there was sharks everywhere around. I couldn't sleep at night. I was just like, I don't want to go to the beach. They might jump up, as if they were an alligator and could walk up. So that was
watching
a
The Maid.
really, I am looking right there.
Oh, you're looking up.
I know, but I'm looking right here. I know, it just looks like that. Anyway, it had a lot of impact on me and kind of the way, because when I was younger, before I saw it, I would dive into the waves, and I was rescued twice by lifeguards. I didn't really have any fear when I was young. And so now when I hear that music,
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
I get really scared. I still won't go swimming that far anymore, but when I was young, I did. So, but that made a big impact on me. But then it kind of got me into scary movies, because later on, I just love that movie. It's a great movie. It has a really good story. Who here has seen Jaws, the original one?
I honestly haven't seen it.
Jenny, have you seen Jaws?
Nope.
She hasn't seen it.
I'm
And it's
sorry
like-
if you didn't know that, but I never
That's
watched
okay.
movies like that when I was young.
So for you
Jenny's like,
guys-
I haven't seen it and I don't plan on seeing it. Leave me alone.
I know, she's like,
I would never say leave me alone.
I know. I'm just joking.
all right,
I'm
so
just
we'll
joking on you.
go around. I'm gonna randomly pick who wants to go next and talk about a movie that really made a difference in them, like really like made a big impact on them,
And why?
and why.
Ladies first.
You want to go
Ladies
first?
first.
Well, okay, Jenny, you wanna go first?
Yeah. Even though I don't really have a picture, but the movie that influenced me, and I don't think you heard of it, it's called Kumba. It's about a zebra with half stripes and the other half as no stripes at all.
Uh-huh.
So he was born that way. So he was looking to find a magic water to get his stripes. But he realized that he was born that way, and he's a special one. Like people with autism are special,
Yes.
And
Yeah, we
that
are.
made me realize that movie kind of influenced me, because sometimes I do not like who I am, but I had to like who I really am,
Mhm.
And I thought it was a good movie to watch too.
Yeah, and what was the big thing? Let me hold on for a second. There is another way you can join it without joining it online.
That Chetty Chew.
Kumba's a really good movie.
You don't have to open it on the thing.
For some reason, I keep thinking you're talking about Pumbaa, like Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh,
Also a great one.
yeah. Oh, Lizzie and Precious.
Sorry, guys. I was just trying to help my husband. And so Jenny, that really impacted you. How did that change you at all? You said it impacted you because it showed
He didn't like himself at
autism
first.
and how different it is and how special it is.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
So Amy, do you have one too?
I actually have two exactly.
Huh?
I have two.
Okay.
The first one would be Forrest Gump.
Oh, such a good movie.
That I.
Yeah, it was a good movie. And why did it impact you?
Because it told a story of how Forrest was born with braces on his legs, but it never stopped him. He ran until he wanted to stop. And by the way, FYI, is in the running scene of Forrest Gump, that is not Tom Hanks. That is Tom Hanks's brother. That
Oh,
is
really?
the running scene.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting,
I
yeah.
never knew that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his brother. I looked up some facts about Forrest Gump and it said his brother did the running part.
Wow.
Mhm. Wow.
Uh,
Even
And
Precious agrees.
how did it impact you?
It told me a story of how people are born with like braces or no limbs or have no visual impaired or death impaired or autism. It opens the doors to showing people that are like that can overcome their obstacles like he did. Being bullied from children, his through first when he first started school, then through college and overcoming people picking on him and throwing rocks at him.
I like that. I feel like that too. I don't like to conform with a lot of stuff either.
There you go.
And
Oh, there he is.
here he is.
Hold on a second.
And
I gotta get a smaller chair.
He has to get a shorter chair.
Or, you know what?
I get a short chair, just lift this up
That's so
more.
cool. Hi, Boobin. Or should I say Kathmandu?
All right,
Not
not too low.
There.
There we go.
short.
Ah, right.
There you go. That's better.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Amy.
Amy, yeah. So what was your second movie?
Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
And why did you like that one? How did that impact you?
It also it tells a different story, but it also opens how people struggle with people judging you the way you look or the way you sing, the way you walk. And I'm like, Belle didn't really take that for granted. She walked through her town, sang, read a book, went to the library and helped her father out. That was an inventor. Even though his machine didn't work, he didn't give up.
Yeah, they all thought she was odd and he was odd,
Mm-hmm.
but
They
they
thought he
kept
was
doing what they wanted.
Yeah, that he was a freak.
Yeah.
He really wasn't.
Can we
Can we talk a little more about
Forrest
Forrest
Gump?
Gump?
Because
That's
one
one
of my favorite movies
too.
too.
There's like an echo going on.
Is there an
Okay,
There
echo?
is an echo going on.
Oh, when you're talking, I'll mute.
Okay, how's that?
That's
Oh, yeah.
better.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
better.
so Amy, what is your favorite scene in all of Forrest Gump?
Oh boy. I think when he was speaking at the Washington Monument in front of those people, talking about the war, but he didn't really remember much because he couldn't really say much about the war in Vietnam. But that was also the year of the Black Panthers group.
He seemed to be always at the right place at the right time for history, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed to keep moving forward. That's one of the things I like. Even with all the bad stuff that happened to him, he was always moving forward. So there was a really positive message there.
Yes.
And like his mother always said, Mama always sad.
Life is like a ball.
Oh,
Whoops.
yeah,
You never
now-
know what you're going to get.
People
Oh,
will always say my name like
I had to
this,
do that.
like,
Sorry.
people will always say my name like this, like Johnny.
why did you put that weapon together so quickly, Gump?
I think Jen
Because
is like
you
a
told me
famous
to,
name.
Jill Sergeant?
Okay, so
Gosh,
question,
dang it, Gump.
what movie influenced you and impacted you?
Me?
Yes.
Okay,
Unless you're not Christian.
I'm a ghost. Well, I'll go back to like the first movie I saw in theaters, which was that movie Alaska, way back from the 90s, and told the story of two young people who wanted to save their father, whose plane had crashed, and it was on the side of a mountain, and all of a sudden this plane was like a few more moves to this plane, and it was going down to the ground, and then they end up having to protect a polar bear from a poacher, and man, it was like, I love that movie so much. I went back there to the theater to see it again and acted out all the polar bear scenes. Fortunately, there was only one couple in there that didn't mind me doing that, but oh man, yeah, that was a memorable night. And then if there's another movie that inspired me, it would probably have to be James Bond, like hands down.
Which
Yeah.
particular movie?
Yeah, which one?
Oh,
Well, I grew up in the 90s, I was born in the 90s actually, and I started watching Pierce Brosnan first. So I'm like, Pierce Brosnan is my James Bond, like hands down, because he's just like kind of like in a way that Sean Connery was like, just debonair and
Yes,
just,
good point.
ruthless, and that those movies inspired me so much that I went to I think it was either Arizona or Nevada, and my parents were dressed in like summer attire. I was dressed in a black suit, black boots. It was who knows how many degrees outside,
Oh God.
and I did not care about anything. I was in that suit and I was having the time of my life. So
Did you have a
yeah, those are
martini?
two movies that inspired me.
You have your martini in your hand and said shaken, not stirred?
I like in Casino Royale where the guy goes, vodka, goes, a vodka martini. Do you want that chicken or stirred? He goes, do I look like you give a damn?
Okay, Ruben, give us a movie that impacted you.
Ruben.
I think the movies that impact me always changes. And I had to think about this when Eileen told me the theme of today's Zoom meeting. I almost said podcast.
Podcast, it is.
Is it a podcast? Okay.
Podcast.
This podcast / Zoom meeting. And my favorite movies always change, but I always like movies about the underdogs. I always like movies where somebody has to make a comeback or show what he's really capable of when other people have not given them any credit or much credit. And one of my favorite movies, it's hard to really pull down, a few years ago, well, actually, it was actually from the 80s, but it was The Natural with Robert Redford. And here was a guy that had his whole career life ahead of him, and then he was in a freak incident where he got shot as a young man. He was going to go join the Major League Baseball team, and then he disappeared for like 15 years. And nobody heard. And then he tries out as a rookie in his mid-30s. Nobody tries out as a rookie in their mid-30s. So they call him an old man. In baseball, you're already an old person in your mid-30s. You're about ready to retire. And he was joining up So, but he was still had the ability, and he showed everybody what he was capable of, even though he was an older guy. So as I get older, I appreciate stories like that even more. There was another movie, even more recent, with Anthony Hopkins called World's Fastest Indian. And the guy was about my age at the time, 64. This is a true story. And he kept modifying an old motorcycle that was 40 years old. And it was a beat up, junky looking little thing that nobody thought, would ever amount to much. And he took it to Utah, the races that they have there on the flatlands. I don't know if you know anything about that. He raced his motorcycle and he broke several world records. This was a guy in his 60s, and everybody was laughing at him, and because his bike looked ridiculous, his motorcycle looked ridiculous. And I don't even ride a motorcycle. It wasn't because of that I like the movie. I like the message that if you stay with something, you're going to succeed in some way. The fact that you stay with something is a success in itself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And some people just quickly give up, and even if you end up in last place in something, at least you ran, at least you put yourself in the race, at least you showed up. And sometimes that's the most successful thing you can do, is to be part of the situation and not just run away from it because it may be too challenging or whatever. So it's like these people that run the marathon. A lot of them are not going to win it, and that's not why they're in it. They're in it so they can complete it, so they can finish. For them, that's a big accomplishment.
I want to interject here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I wanted to interject a little bit because Amy is involved in Special Olympics. Amy, can you tell us a little bit about how that relates to what Ruben's saying?
Well,
'Cause I know a lot of people run, and maybe you guys haven't always won, but did you enjoy your time?
yeah, I think that's basically what Ruben is trying to say is when I'm a part of Special Olympics, I do compete and I don't win, but it's not about winning to me. It's about having fun and showing people what I can do and be capable of and prove to
Amen, sister.
And
Yeah, I mean,
I've met people older than I am, like in their 80s, still doing special
Wow.
Olympics, using a
Wow.
walker. I've seen people in wheelchairs. I've seen people with with a prosthetic, with the leg missing or stuff like that. I don't judge them. I just think they had a hard life growing up with no one really looking beyond what they look like.
yeah, and it's better than sitting at home. At least they're out with everybody. They're making friends, because the more
Yeah.
friends you have that are good friends, it really helps you get through those rough times.
Yeah, they do.
And I know we did the movie. When did we do that movie?
Play hard.
Play Hard. They did a movie called Play Hard, which I've never seen, and I would love to see. I think I saw it once.
It's
If we
on
could-
my YouTube channel.
Oh, it's on your YouTube channel. Okay.
On mine too.
Can you
I
send us?
just know it from yours, Christian.
Oh, you little thief.
Hey,
Everybody had fun with that movie.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, and what was that movie about? Because Amy's the one that was her idea, and they filmed it.
Yeah,
And everybody played basketball.
it was about people with different disabilities competing.
Going against a team that was just like
It was
Nothing
definitely
better than anyone.
basically the bad guys. Daryl played the bad coach.
You guys win.
Yes, we won, and I think that's the year Jeremy
Jeremy Hunter, who else?
Jeremy was in it. Matthew was in it. Hunter.
Oh yeah,
A
Matthew.
whole bunch of people
Steven
were
was in it.
And it was they won, but there was a lot of good messages in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm still
so-
thinking about Play Hard 2.
So am I.
Oh my, I have the script still.
Hey, Christian,
Uh huh.
do you think you can make a new script for Play Hard 2 if you can?
If I can, yeah, easy.
That's,
So, I
Because
made
you're a
a
pretty
YouTube
good script
channel.
writer.
I
Thank
made
you.
a Tiger Made YouTube channel. And I think we're gonna have two because I know Christian made one too. So I'm gonna start uploading our podcast. This amazing
Good.
podcast. I really, everything that you guys say is very important. We want to get it out there. And we
Yeah.
also want to have some conversations about why we're making movies, why we want to get going again on getting together, because we all have a lot of good ideas.
Mhm.
Always writing scripts. Jenny's always got ideas. Amy's writing scripts. And so maybe we
I
can
haven't
get-
wrote a script since in 2020, so I've been not writing scripts lately.
So you're a little rusty.
so rusty.
Yeah.
It's like
I
riding a
can't
bike.
remember the movie I wanted to do still.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, Tiger Maze Studios is not going to give up. In fact, every time I'm like, oh, I don't know, Christian's always there. Don't give up. He's like my
Always.
best section there. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Make
don't
the
have one.
impossible possible. All you gotta do is do it so.
Yes, exactly.
All you
That's what
gotta do is
Kaito
play
Momoda
hard.
says
Play
for
hard.
the video game Danganronpa.
Yeah. Why did you call it Play Hard, Amy?
Good question.
Why did I fall?
Why did you?
Why
call
did you
it?
call it Play Hard? It's the title.
Cause I, cause you play hard, you play your best and you go through the hard work, you train, you practice, you go through the methods, you realize you need to wake up for practice and you usually forget.
Isn't that an oxymoron? You know what an oxymoron is?
Yes, kind of
Yeah.
oxymoron is.
Okay. How can play is supposed to be fun? You don't think of play as being hard. So when you put play and hard together, it's like this interesting contrast, but it also makes sense. And
Yeah.
it also reminds me of Die Hard.
Die
Yeah.
Hard 2.
Die
Die
Hard.
Harder.
Nice name drop.
That's why you need
Play
Die
Hard
Die Hard
2.
2.
Play harder.
Play harder. There you go. Good
Funny.
job. Play harder. Now
Genius
you
Jenny
start writing-
strikes
Everybody
again.
who's gonna start writing the script. Play harder.
Genius Jenny strikes again.
How about play harder, not smarter?
Yeah. Busy and precious
Or,
again.
It's supposed to be the other way around. Play
Or
smarter, not harder.
live free or play hard.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
day to
yeah.
Play hard.
Yeah.
Just go
Play
through every
hard
Die
or
Hard
go
movie
home.
Play hard with a
Just play
vengeance.
in front of Die, and you have your next sequel. This could be a whole series.
Yep.
It'll be
Oh,
the
boy.
Amyverse. What do you think? The Amyverse.
The Amy verse.
We're all in the Amy verse, okay?
And then we'll have the
Or-
Christian
or the-
verse and the Jenny verse,
Or the Tiger verse.
the Tiger verse,
Tigerverse.
or the worst verse.
Okay, so if you film that you wanted to really make people impact people, we know what that means, like really say something to people and want a message to get across. Christian, I'm gonna have you go first. What kind of movie would it be? What, like a basic, what kind of movie would it be? If you want to make something to really make an impact, a movie or a documentary.
Serious question.
You want to think about it?
Shoot.
Caught him off guard there.
So think about you guys, if you want to
I'll
make
think about it. Give me a few minutes.
You think about it? Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll go to the example. If I'd like to make maybe a day in the life of a caseworker to show how hard your life is, how hard it is for me to get you guys services, just everything that kind of really talks about how special you guys are and how hard it is to get the services to you guys. So I would love to
Even
see
wrote a song that goes along with it.
someone in the day of a life of a caseworker for the neurodiverse, how hard it is to get everything going so you guys can have a great life.
I would totally star in a movie like that.
Yeah, that
And-
makes sense.
Huh?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I want people to understand. I told Ruben too, is I would love to see a day in the life of a gig worker artist, because that's what he does, and it's hard to drum up work and to also it just think about all the things that go into being an artist and a gig worker. You know, somebody who doesn't go to a regular job every day.
And we also have the Beatles song "Day in the Life."
There
Yeah,
you go.
we can put that on there.
Sometimes working for yourself, well, everything has its own challenges, but you're your own boss. You're your own coffee maker. You're your own everything when you work for yourself.
You don't have to complain that the coffee's too cold or too hot. It's like that
That's
coffee.
right.
That's right.
And we're all wearing hats right now. When you work for yourself, you put on different hats. You know, it's an expression, a cliche expression, but it's true. You have to put yourself in a different frame of mind for each part of your job. One is that you have to look for work. You're always job interviewing. It never ends because people call you and they want to know that you're the right person for their party or their event. And they're going to ask you questions. And a lot of getting that job will be based on your response. So there's that pressure just getting the work. And then you have to be the budget department. You got to negotiate a price. You got to you know, you got to do all your own paperwork. There's no department that you have to be your own public relations, your own
gotta be a
PR.
one-man band.
You got to be a one-man band. So
Have
you
you
wear,
guys ever seen a
you
one-man
wear
band?
different hats for each of the different
Have you guys
things.
ever seen a one-man band where the guy has the drums and then he has the cymbals and he's going at the same time?
Mary
That's
Poppins.
kind of a person who works for themselves.
Think
they
of
do
Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke's character.
How's that?
What?
Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke's character does
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
One
Yep.
band.
In fact, Amy, Ruben met Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke is, I think, one of the nicest people, not only of the earth, but in the universe.
He starts his
He's one
dance
of the
move.
nicest people of all time. And he does not act like a big star. He doesn't act snooty. He treats you like a real person.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Oh,
He has a
and he
picture
was
of
one of my heroes before I met him. And he did not disappoint when I met him. And I've met a lot of celebrities.
Mm,
I'm not going to tell you the ones that I didn't really care for. But I could tell you some of the nice ones, like Whoopi Goldberg was really nice.
wow.
And, you know, I met people from different shows. Henry Winkler was pretty nice, at least to me. I don't know how it usually is.
We
But
have
there's
a-
other ones that weren't so nice. But anyways,
So we're gonna
enough for the gossip.
get back on. Does anybody know what kind of movie that they would like to do to impact? Like maybe subject.
I would like to have a movie, A Day in the Life of a Person with Autism. Because I have a boyfriend that has autism and ADHD. And I've seen people treat him differently at competitions and think he's dumb and not high functioning. I've seen him be told, you're not good at your sport. Why are you here? Why are you even wearing this jersey? You should be in somewhere else. He's been picked on in high school. He didn't really get along with other people in high school because he was different, and he still struggles with that. So I would like to have a movie that shows people what people have to go through in the life of having autism.
That's great.
I think
that's
it's a great subject. I love it. Yeah, I go see that. I love it.
I know.
Yeah. So you don't have to have the disability I also would like to do a day in the life of somebody who has invisible disabilities because I have some issues with my health that had held me back and I'm struggling with right now. And so some people are like, "Oh, you look fine," and I'm like, I'm fine for about an hour and I'm smiling, but they don't see me when I'm in a lot of pain. They don't see the other,
Yeah.
they don't see everything. And when, all the doctors I have to go to. So
You see what's
Um,
outside and it looks good, but then inside it's like it's a
yeah.
whole another
And,
story.
like too is when you're going through maybe a day in the life, maybe of someone that has anxiety or depression is a good type of documentary too, because sometimes that person can't tell you, but sometimes, people are like, well, where are they? Well, maybe they're not having a good day. But that's why it's so good to have this type of circle of support and really keep creating. I feel like I won the lotto because I love getting up every day and doing my job. I loved getting up today because I knew I was going to meet with you guys here. I love working with populations that I work with. I love the Tiger Maid crew. And I found my passion. And to me, that's more than riches because that makes me so happy and just like giving you guys hope. That makes me happier than having $1 million. I'm not joking. You can
Good
have
God
$1
bless
million
you.
That makes
very
sense.
low if you can't find your passion.
I have a question for Jenny. Jenny, is that a hamster? I can't tell. Oh, you got
Yeah,
another.
it's my sweetest hamster named Precious and my
Okay.
leopard gecko named Lizzie. See Lizzie?
Okay. Lizzie the lizard, right? Wow, they're cool.
Gecko.
Now,
They're
how
Yeah,
about,
both have
my
lizards.
phantom pets.
has
That's why my
anybody,
username is
Jenny,
White Phantom.
what about a day in the life of a hamster
Yeah!
Oh,
Why not?
or a lizard?
I don't see why
yeah,
not.
Day in the Life
I
of
don't either.
Heisenberg. I
What's
know
my
Kristen
Lizzie
did that.
Lizzie?
That was awesome.
So you could make it also, you can make a real serious film. You can make a more lighthearted film. You can make something in between. You can make a serious film with some comedy touches. You can make a comedy film with some serious touches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to make Precious and Lizzie movie stars.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Like other animals that are movie stars.
Yeah.
can I show you a character that I want to make a day in the life type of movie? Hold
Sure.
on,
Yeah.
I have to bring him in.
Sure, then. Oh, jeez.
See,
Yeah, don't be a cat, don't be a cat.
Oh, he's cute. I like this little guy.
Oh, what the?
oh, what is that?
Looks like poop.
This guy, oh, let me put him in the right. Whoa, this guy is Watley.
Claymation.
Yes, it's plasticina,
Potato.
and Watley doesn't know what his purpose in life is. He dropped out of the sky one day and landed on my other character's Penny's porch, and the first thing she said is, "What are you?" And the first thing he says is, "That's what I'd like to know." Because on his way down, as he was coming down from the sky, wherever he came from, he acquired amnesia. So he doesn't know anything about his past. So now once he's on Earth, he goes out every day trying to search for himself. And the only thing that Penny wants is to make sure that he gets home by supper time.
He reminds
And he
me,
takes care of himself, of course.
He's so cute.
So that's Watley. Let me show you something else.
that
For,
purple guy reminds me of the purple guy from McDonald's.
idea how tall he is?
What?
When I saw this at a store, I go, yeah, he's about the height of a fire hydrant.
Oh wow.
He is a height of.
So that's how tall he is. So people pick on him because he's small,
Oh,
He's short.
and he doesn't look like any of them.
no, he doesn't.
He's kind of like a pear-shaped kind of alien creature type of dude.
He
Kind of.
reminds me of
So that's Watley. People want to call him Watley, but it's Watley because he doesn't know what he is.
Watley.
yeah. I would say he's a
Like
potato.
gently.
You could do it a day in the life of
A
just
purple
about any.
potato kind of.
What I do is think about how you can make an impact. Even though I love horror movies and scary stuff, ghosts, and I love Halloween and stuff, I also like really good stuff that makes an impact on people. And sometimes you can do it with pictures, with video or film. Anything you do is still very important. You know, like one of the things people forget about is visuals. So if I did this, then you would know how to do that. And some people don't realize how powerful a visual is, right?
Mm,
What if I did this?
the stop motion.
You know, well, it's not stop motion, but
Speaking of visuals, one thing I noticed about Jenny is how well she takes care of her pets, always petting them, and that's a strong visual right there.
Mm,
And with Christian, I noticed the china cabinet in back of him. So it is a
he's
china
like,
cabinet.
wait a minute, that's not mine. Those are my mom's.
And I'm thinking, okay, that's a visual too. Everything's a visual, you
that's
know?
true.
And visuals are important. If you look at old movies, which is something Ruben loves, you
Silent films.
see a lot of body movements instead of just talking.
Mhm.
They do a lot of, oh my gosh. And Ruben is very, very, that he likes that type of thing. And I like that about him because when he does silly things, which we're going to upload to the Tiger Maid YouTube, we're going to upload some funny things that we've done. But I also want to get the podcast up there too. We're going to talk about different ways that we can express ourselves. Even if you're just doing videos, it's still content. That's really exciting. Even if you're just doing videos, it doesn't have to be some major film.
It could be short subject, right?
Send it to me and then we'll upload it to show, you know, Christian's work, Amy's work, Jenny's work.
Hey, speaking of Jenny, you know, Jenny, one thing you could do with your pets is just film them doing whatever they do and then go back and put audio of what they're thinking.
Oh yeah.
That is a good idea. Even though I do have TikTok, yeah, I do TikTok videos with Precious and Lizzie.
Do you ever show what they're thinking about?
Oh, no.
You ever see the movie Look Who's Talking?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
No.
look
Wasn't that when the
The
babies
talking
could talk,
baby
but it was
movie.
like only to
Or
each
like
other?
the Mind Talking
Yeah.
Baby movie, or I don't know.
you've seen a lot of movies where they have talking animals, of course. You know,
Talking.
cartoons have a lot of talking animals, but somehow to me it's funnier that when the characters are realistic looking, and they're having these funny thoughts, you know,
Yeah.
about the world around them. Like your lizard right now can say, "Wow, I forget how hard it is to climb your shoulder," and whatever, you know. So you can make up all the stuff you can imagine them thinking, and you could do a little 1 minute little video of them doing what they usually do, eating, running around, climbing your shoulder, whatever, and then you go to a close up, and then you put in what they're thinking about.
Yeah. And
Just an
Lizzie,
idea.
she eats crickets and mealworms, so she's a carnivore.
There you go.
But I was asking if it's safe to film.
To film you want to put them in a safe environment. Your room is a safe environment, right?
Yes, pretty small,
Well, you
but
can
it's
film them
safe.
in your room,
Yeah,
or
you
your
can do that.
somewhere in your house that you feel is safe too.
Yeah.
We're coming out to our ending hour. So does anyone have any closing statements to like some project that you're working on? And
Well, I just wrote a script. I finished it. It's about 15 pages, I think. I was hoping Steven was going to be on here, but him and I came up with a short film that would be a prologue to Terminator.
cool.
Interesting.
Very good. You and Steven?
Yeah, the script is like ready to go. It's wild and it's a short film.
Awesome. What about
And
you? Amy?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying like, so we have that script to go after because it's all finished. It's been like proofread and yeah.
Awesome. Amy, what are you working on?
I haven't been
I
working
have
on
too.
anything lately.
What?
I haven't been working on anything lately.
Okay, hey, how about thinking about our next podcast question?
Yeah.
Think about,
Maybe what filmmaking stories we've we have and what we experienced on the list of films that we've done in the past and what we're looking for, where we're looking towards in the new amount of films that the X amount of films we're gonna do now.
That's a
yeah,
good idea.
what do you think,
As long as
Jenny?
we don't,
Work on
as long
anything
as
else?
we don't do a film about Don't Stand By anymore, I'm not getting hurt again.
I knew you were gonna say something.
That was the
Thank
day I got bruised.
Thanks. And then the next podcast, we're not gonna wait a whole month. So it'll be in a couple of weeks. I'll set the date, probably more like the 15th, 16th.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then we'll pick a subject. So
Yeah, Ruben.
out, and then I'll give you a link to where this is at, so you can rewatch the podcast. How's
Ruben.
that?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Ruben. No.
So you'll give us the link to click on for like YouTube.
Yes. Yes.
All right, cool.
All right.
I want to
See you
send
soon.
it to a few people in my family. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? Tiger Maid.
You guys
Yeah.
later. Take care. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Say bye.